Hey everyone, welcome to Pageant Professors. I'm Nicole and this is Prita, and today we're tackling one of the most frequently asked questions that we receive about pageants, and that's, am I too short to compete? And you know what I personally love about pageants is that it celebrates the accomplishments of all women, no matter how tall or how short they are.
Or fun size.
Or fun size.
As Betty Thompson, Miss Oklahoma 2011, said about herself at the Miss America pageant, which I love.
I know.
Fun
Adorable.
size. No, you're never too short to compete. It may seem that way a lot of times in some circuits. You'll see these beautiful, tall, glamazonian women.
Yeah.
And you might think, she's 6'5".
Yeah.
How can I possibly, at 5'1", be able to do that?
Well, it's funny that you ask because we have identified some great techniques on how to appear taller on stage. And the number one key is confidence. I think confidence, walking a little taller in your heels, really conveys not only height, but no, it conveys height.
It does.
Yeah.
No, it does. It just, it's this larger than life
It is.
feeling.
Yeah.
And I've seen this with not just issues with height, not issues, but not with just height, but with all kinds of things. It's the person in the room, the woman in the room that carries herself with the most confidence, that has almost this look at me air to it that's sweet, but just so, confidence is sexy.
Yeah.
So no matter your height, I think that if you walk into a room confident, height suddenly just isn't a factor.
It isn't. Like, you just immediately notice. And it's not because you're tall or you're short. It's just because people want to get to know you.
Right.
People are drawn to confidence. People are drawn to that.
So I'm just going to keep talking about her pretty much all throughout this entire video. But Betty Thompson, for me, is one of those pure examples of it.
Yeah.
When she was on stage at Miss America 2012, I don't think at any point, except for when she was standing next to all the other girls, and that's only because in her intro video, she mentioned her height.
Right.
But at no point was I like, wow, that girl is petite.
No.
It doesn't.
even come
She's
to
got
mind.
this confidence.
Yeah.
She's got this air about her that it's not anything that you think about.
Right.
And even when she was standing in the lineup, and a lot of the young women, I think Jennifer Sedler, Miss Arizona, was quite tall.
Sure.
It still doesn't jump out at
No,
you
it
unless you're
doesn't.
looking for it, because her personality is larger than life. And really that is what is conveyed more than anything.
Yeah. Two, I think managing your weight is a big key to looking taller on stage.
Right.
You know, I think that, you know, people fluctuate, you know, on a daily basis,
Right.
let alone when they're competing in pageants. And so I think that when you're fit and you're lean and you're toned, you're just going to look a little taller on stage than you normally would.
I also think that there's ways to manage that as well. There's certain workouts and regimens. If you're petite and you want to appear taller, there are certain areas that maybe working out harder is that. Like if, for example, on your legs or on your thighs, there's a lot of workouts that'll really tone up your leg muscles, but that can also sometimes add mass to it.
Like bulk,
Yeah, only because, I mean, it's all muscle, but it's in a place that when you're wearing a gown or when you're wearing something else, it can make you appear shorter and stockier. So, you know, with your midsection, with your legs, really just making them long and toned, but not necessarily muscular.
Absolutely.
I think helps convey more height and draws it away from maybe if you're petite.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. You know, avoiding evening gowns with chokers. You know, it's not a trend that we're seeing a lot of right now. You know, the plunging necklines, sweetheart necklines, you know, those are, you know, definitely dominating the pageant stage right now. But anything that has, you know, any sort of vertical illusion on your body will make you just look shorter.
Right. It just cuts you off.
Yeah, it does cut you off.
There are other ways too with evening gowns. I am 5'5.5". I round up.
Yeah.
So
rounding
we'll
up.
just say 5'6". But when I compete, if I'm not, I've got longer legs, so sometimes I do definitely opt for a slit because I can have the focus point be on my longer legs, that they're longer than they should be for my height, but also gowns with no slits.
Yeah.
You're able to really stack on the high platforms, but because you have a gown that doesn't have a slit, they're not going to see your shoes as much. So you're really able to add the vertical height without drawing attention to really big platforms.
Yeah.
Betty Thompson, again, this is number 3 in this video. Her evening gown at Miss America. Cannot say enough about it because the way it was cut, the neckline, she had a cinch at the waist that kind of gathered and went straight to, I mean, if you're on Google, you're clearly on the internet, go and Google Betty Thompson's Miss America gown, because I feel like it was everything that a gown for a petite contestant should be.
Absolutely.
When she was on that stage, it made her look so tall that, again, if she hadn't pointed out in her intro video that she was the shortest contestant that year, I would have never thought
Wouldn't have known. And you know what's great about it is that it hits another point that we talk about, and it's that it's monochromatic. We talked to a teen recently who, you know, just needed advice on what to do better for next year when she competed at a state pageant for the USA system. And, you know, she's petite, she's got a very small frame, and she wore a printed gown. If it had just been a solid color, monochromatic, I mean, she would have looked just stunning and tall on stage.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I think the important thing to remember, and we talk about this again at Evening Gown 101, if you haven't watched it, make sure you check it out, but the judges are sitting beneath you.
Yeah.
Many times you're on a stage and they're sitting a little bit below you, so they're automatically looking up at you, and you'll automatically look taller.
Right.
But it's important to dress yourself in a way that keeps that, and I think monochromatic colors, not breaking up the line, just looking very kind of statuesque in a solid color gown with not too many distinctive bands or different colors will help make you look taller than something maybe printed. Or I know we're looking for our gowns for international, and anything that has a dramatic belt that is very clear and just straight across the waistline is something that we shy away from.
It's not going to help out.
Because it's not going to help us. So those are big factors that you can take into consideration helping you look taller on stage.
And an obvious way to look taller is to wear the high heels. You know, push it. If you can get away with 4, 5, or even 6-inch heels, definitely go for it. I mean, it adds instant height.
But it's important. There are a couple things to take into consideration. Making sure that if you're wearing the heels, like we're talking about the really high 6-inch, maybe they're clear or something, try to have those hidden under a gown so they're not taking over. You don't want someone to look and say, yeah, she's tall because she's wearing, you know, stilts. Don't want to do that. But
stilts? Never thought.
To wear that under my gown this year.
Look into that. Maybe clear stilts.
There we go. But an opening number swimsuit, 5-inch heels that are nude, and I'm talking a perfect nude. We have a video on how to find the perfect nude heel. But a perfect nude that matches your skin tone, that just makes it look like the shoe is an extension of your leg. So that automatically also helps add height, makes your legs look longer, and can also give the illusion of being taller.
Right. So again, are you too short to compete?
No.
Absolutely not. And
Never.
I think that the petite contestants that have won their states and won, you know, at the national levels are a very great testament to the fact that, no, you're not too short to compete.
Right. And, you know, above all else, these are obviously ways to maybe give the illusion that you're taller, but sometimes the best bet is embrace your height, call yourself fun size or whatnot, but, you know, really embrace who you are, embrace the fact that, you might be the most petite contestant on that stage, but that's just another way that you get to stand out from the pack. So don't let it be a hindrance, embrace it, and get that crown. So these were some suggestions that we've had based on our experiences on how you can help embrace your size and maybe give the illusion of a little more height.
Definitely.
Do you have any suggestions or tips or advice that you have found to be helpful? We want to hear about it. Go ahead and leave your comments in the link below, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Did you know that there are some really common mistakes that girls make during the evening gown portion of their competition? Click on the link in the description below and you'll be taken to our website for a free 30-minute long training course. By the end of it, you'll learn how to avoid these common mistakes and master the evening gown portion of your competition today.